It is Vikings Hate Week, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll just tell you, that starts right here, right now on today's episode of the Packers Report. Welcome into the show. My name is Joey Petersen. Got the first divisional matchup for Green Bay since week one against the Detroit Lions. Packers right now sitting at 6.5-point favorites for that game. That's going to be in Lambeau Field. So Kevin O'Connell spoke to the media this week following their loss to the Chicago Bears. And he confirmed something yesterday. And that thing that he confirmed, I'll tell you what it is in just a second, but it is like he is gift wrapping something and giving it straight to Matt LaFleur, Jeff Hafley, and the Green Bay Packers. We got a Week 12 sub-battle to check in on, and I know I made a video very late on Sunday. I thought it was, weeks in the future, Bears game, yada, yada, yada. We're playing the Vikings. I know that. You know that. And we are playing them right here on this platform right now. They are up 23 subscribers on us, so I need you guys to help me out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because we got to make up that difference. Beat the Minnesota Vikings in our sub-battle this week, and that will end on Sunday. So it's been a rough few weeks for J.J. McCarthy, the QB1 for the Minnesota Vikings, who's really in his rookie season. I get it. He was drafted in 2024, did not play a snap in the regular season last year for the Minnesota Vikings. So while he is a second-year player in the National Football League, he's a rookie when he's out there in between the white lines. And if you don't believe me, that's been a few rough weeks for J.J., well, take a look at these last two starts. 0-2 record, completion percentage just a touch over 50%, 199 yards on average, 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. That's against the Baltimore Ravens and the Chicago Bears. And if you look at this metric tweeted out by the the Minnesota Vikings own Athletics beat writer, you could see J.J. McCarthy is at the very bottom in quarterback efficiency in 2025. That takes completion percentage above expected and expected points added per play. He's under quarterbacks like Dylan Gabriel, who's having a horrible season. Justin Fields, who just got benched. And the funny thing is, there were Viking fans in his comment section, and they're saying, hey, do you mind showing us the quarterback efficiencies chart for 2018 when Josh Allen kind of struggled through the first half of this season? So then he did, and you see Josh Allen as a rookie. He's not on the right side of this list, but he's better than J.J. McCarthy was. And the funny thing is the most comparable quarterback to where J.J. McCarthy ranks right now to back to 2018 is one Josh Rosen, who, if you don't know, he's been selling insurance for the last 4 years. Now, that may or may not be true, but all that to say, he's not in the National Football League anymore. He had a cup of coffee at best. So let's talk about the gift that we were getting. Kevin O'Connell obviously was asked, what's the future with J.J. McCarthy? Are you going to continue be rolling him, continue have faith in him? And, of course, the head coach for the Vikings said he's made of the right stuff. He's got to keep working at it. We're going to go back to work and continue to find every avenue to try and help build the consistency to his mechanics. And then I firmly believe that the accuracy will come from that. Now, I'm not saying it's the wrong decision from Kevin O'Connell to stick with J.J. McCarthy. I think if every single one of us were in his position and you had this young, moldable quarterback, benching him after 5 starts in his second year in the National Football League probably is not the right decision. But regardless, just because you and I would make the same choice that Kevin O'Connell's making right now does not mean that it's not a gift to Green Bay, because it is just that. J.J. McCarthy has been the worst quarterback in the National Football League, and they're going to continue to trot him out there. And now he gets to trot out at Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers, his first time playing that matchup yet. I'm going to set the line. 1.5 interceptions for the Packers against Minnesota. Will they pick J.J. McCarthy off over 1.5 times or under? Let's play a little bit of Vegas, okay? You let me know in the comment section down below. When it comes to defending J.J. McCarthy, I don't think it's going to be incredibly hard, okay? Now, I might regret that in 5 days. I hope I don't. But I do think that Green Bay needs to blitz a little bit more. I love Jeff Hafley, but I think this is my least favorite thing about Jeff Hafley is his lack of tendency to blitz. This team blitzes 18.4% of the time only. That is 28th most in the National Football League. They are a bottom 5 unit in terms of blitz rate. I would like that to be dialed up a little bit more in general, and especially this game going against J.J. McCarthy. They show a light box 51.3% of the time. That's top 10 most. And they show a heavy box, bottom 6, 27th most at 18.5% of the time. And if you look at the last two games that J.J. McCarthy has played, the Bears blitzed him 37.5% of the time. The Ravens did it 23.4% of the time. And look at the pressure rates they got in each of those games. And guys, I'll tell you this right now. And Gage, actually send me full screen for a second after this. I'll tell you this right now. The Green Bay Packers have better defensive lines than both the Baltimore Ravens and the Chicago Bears. In fact, I would argue that the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens, if you're just looking strictly at personnel, have bottom 5 pass rushing units across the NFL. And I would argue every day of the week that even though we haven't necessarily seen the sack production over the last couple of weeks, look, Green Bay Packers are still top 5 in terms of personnel that they've got on their defensive line. But I want to blitz J.J. McCarthy so much because when you're a rookie quarterback and you see a lot of blitzes and you feel a lot of pressure, you can get frazzled and your mechanics can get thrown off. And that's been the deal with J.J. so far. And if you don't believe me, hear from his head coach again. He said, I think that's probably the most frustrating part for him. It's talked about and repped and practiced at length. And then in those moments, in his 5th start, it's a variance to it. That's causing his job to be more difficult than it needs to be, and he's wildly capable of making the throws that present himself. Kevin O'Connell went on to say that so much of it is just a lack of consistency in those moments when he's feeling those pressures. The bottom half of him kind of starts to go like a ballerina. He's throwing his leg out as soon as I was like, wow, exactly the same amount of time. The ball is coming out of his hands. And like I said before, I read you the quote, when you blitz rookies, they get frazzled. And for a guy who's already having trouble sticking to his mechanics, that's only going to help you. Let's get some likes for 9. I like that title, Gage. Good stuff right there. Are you excited J.J. is starting on Sunday? If you are, hit that thumbs up button and like today's video. Something I know you'll like is our friends over at Underdog. They're the sponsor of today's show. The reason you get to watch it on a daily basis, all for 100% free. It's November. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is still the best place to get in on all the action. Let's cut to the chase. If you download the app today and sign up with promo code Packers Report, you score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. For this Underdog lineup, we're going to go heavy touchdowns for Sunday's game against Minnesota. Give me the higher on Jordan Love first quarter passing touchdowns. I think he gets one in the first 15. Give me higher on Justin Jefferson, half a receiving touchdown. And I think Matthew Golden finally finds the end zone for the first time in his NFL career. Give me the higher on him for more or higher and then a half rushing or receiving touchdown on Sunday. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Packers Report to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Packers Report. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In some other news around the National Football League, this one directly impacts the NFC North because Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers underwent further tests on Monday that confirmed he won't need surgery on his fractured left wrist. Sources tell Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport he's pushing to play Sunday against Chicago, but doctors must clear him, and his status moving forward is to be determined. Now, the reason this is such big news for the Green Bay Packers is because he's playing the NFC North leader, Chicago Bears, and if he's not starting, then they're going to trot out Mason Rudolph, who I get it. He had a pretty good second half against the Cincinnati Bengals when, Aaron Rodgers originally left because of that injury. But I would rather have Rodgers start over Rudolph any day of the week. And I think you share that exact same sentiment. Aaron Rodgers has done it time and time again for the Green Bay Packers. I need him to keep stepping up for the Green Bay Packers and get a win for the Pittsburgh Steelers and take down the Chicago Bears and take them off the top of the NFC North standings, which is where they sit right now, which is crazy that we are through Week 12 and they're at the top. Now, I do still feel like they are a little bit fraudulent. Don't you just kind of get that feeling that they've got a lot of losses coming down the pike? I mean, they're barely beating some really, really bad teams. And that might sound hypocritical for me to say that as I cover the Green Bay Packers, and you have over the last couple of weeks either lost or barely beaten some bad teams yourself. But it just feels like the Chicago Bears are due for a couple of losses over their last 7 games. The NFC playoff picture currently looks like this. The Green Bay Packers are in that number 6 spot in the wild card. And right now, if the playoffs started, they would be on the road in Soldier Field taking on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. You got a lot of games left ahead of you. Both of these teams do. You still play this team twice. You still play the Minnesota Vikings twice. And you play the Lions once. I know you don't want to be in second place right now with the Lions so close behind you in third. But it's phenomenal that at this point in the season, you still control your destiny. Okay? You don't need anybody else to do any winning or losing for you. If you take care of the winning, you'll win the NFC North. Who do you think wins it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make your pick, and because this is the Green Bay Packers report, I better see a lot of GBs down below in the comment section. While you're in that comment section, you'll find the links to my social media. Make sure to click them. Make sure to follow me. And if you have not yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel.